Over the past several years, I have worked with many different stroke survivors. And there are specific attributes that I've noticed as a trend among strong survivors who continue to make progress over time. And the good news is that each of these attributes is not limited to a certain type of person or personality type. If you are willing to learn about and put these attributes into practice, you will make better progress in your own recovery journey. So let's get into it. The first attribute is consistency, and this means doing something on a regular and unchanging basis. When we try to accomplish things in our life, often motivation is not enough on its own. This is where consistency is so important. We establish consistency in our lives with habits and routines, so that when motivation fails us, we can fall back onto those established routines. And specifically in stroke recovery, this can look like a multitude of different things. It might be establishing a good sleep routine so that you're going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. Or it might look like building a dedicated time into your day for recovery exercises and activities. Now, I know what you're saying. Building new habits is hard. And you're not wrong. Science shows us that establishing and then maintaining a new habit or routine over time is very difficult. But there are several evidence-based ways that you can implement to improve the consistency in your life. And one of those is through something called habit stacking. This is when you attach a new habit to an already established one. So for example, let's say that you normally take medications in the morning, but you're also trying to become more active. Well, after you take your meds in the morning, maybe you do 10 squats or some other exercise. It is an easier way to start building in new habits to your daily routine and can help you improve your consistency over time. The second attribute is perseverance. And you may be asking, Elise, isn't perseverance kind of the same thing as consistency? Well, they are very similar, but there is a distinct difference. And that is that perseverance is doing those things on a consistent and unchanging basis, but in the midst of difficult situations and circumstances. No 2 days in our life are going to be the same. There will be some days where we feel like we can take on the world. But there will also be days where all we want to do is lay in bed and cry. And perseverance is the ability to keep going even on the bad days. Now, don't hear me incorrectly. I'm not saying that you should never take a day off. Mental health is extremely important, and there are some times when you just need to take a step back. But sometimes getting up and doing something on the bad days can actually make you feel better. Exercise can help release dopamine and endorphins, and doing an activity that you really enjoy can help get you into a flow state. Sometimes it just takes that first step of putting on your exercise shoes or clothes or pulling out what you need for that activity. Either way, perseverance is a really important part of the recovery journey. The next attribute is the ability to ask for help. Yeah, I know this one is a doozy, and although I haven't had a stroke, this is something that I really struggle with. Asking for help can feel like you're giving up or that you're not good enough to do something on your own, but that's simply not true. Whether moving furniture, taking pictures, or completing a project for work or for school, at some point in our lives, we all have to ask for help. Asking for help does not make you weak or incapable. In fact, it signifies your strength and self-awareness. So why does this help so much in recovery? Well, by asking for help on the issues that you struggle with or are weaker on, it gives you time to focus on your strengths. You can put this into practice by thinking of one thing this week that you can ask someone else for help with. It doesn't have to be something big, it just has to be something. The next attribute is learning to not beat yourself up. And I know that is a tough one too, but I've seen so many survivors become really frustrated or depressed when they push and progress is slow to happen. And that reaction is completely normal and natural. But staying in that headspace is not healthy, and it can actually be detrimental to your progress. That frustration and sadness you might feel can cause you to want to give up or put you in a bad mental state. It's important to recognize that you're only human, and not beating yourself up is vital to continue to see progress. A good way to start practicing this is to have a mantra you say at the end of every day. And it can be something as simple as, "Today I did my best and I could do no more. I'm proud of what I accomplished today." Not beating yourself up is hard and it takes practice, but it's worth pursuing so that you can continue to make progress in your recovery. The last attribute that I want to talk about today is advocating for yourself. Navigating any healthcare system, governmental assistance program, or community resources can feel like a really daunting task. It's hard to know where to start or what programs can help, but learning to navigate the system and advocate for yourself will help you in your recovery journey. And that's because having access to doctors who listen or assistance programs that can help financially or otherwise allow you to focus on your recovery. And this isn't easy, especially in the United States, the system that I'm most familiar with, where healthcare is so disjointed and governmental programs are purposefully difficult to obtain. One of the easier places to start is by looking for a physician who actually listens to you. And I say that this is easier, but that's not always the case. But know that you are allowed to look around and essentially interview different doctors to see who is a good fit with you. Because having a good physician on your side means that you are going to get your needs met. You will probably be able to have better access to community resources, and they may even be able to help you find ways to lower prescription drug costs. Having your needs met via self-advocacy means that there is room in your life to focus on recovery and making better progress. All right, everyone, that's it for today. If you would, leave me a comment down below. Let me know, what are some attributes or things you've learned that have helped you continue to make progress in your own recovery journey? As always, I am leaving a link down in the description below if you would like to sign up for the email list, which gets you free stroke recovery tips and motivational emails every week, as well as a free copy of my ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide. And if you find value in what we do here at Post Stroke and you are able, please consider donating either via PayPal or by becoming a Patreon member, which gets you cool perks in exchange for a monthly donation. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.